Hello and welcome to the channel. I am Firepug, and in this video I'm going to be talking about an Apex Legends tier list here for Season 6. Now we're fresh into the season, we kind of got a taste of what's going on. Now yes, there are going to be updates coming out soon as the events start coming out, but let's go over what we have for a tier list here at the beginning of the season. So right away, let's get into our S tier class. Now, I think the two main candidates for this class is Wraith, per usual, and now Bloodhound as well. I think Bloodhound earned his spot as a S tier legend because of his buff to his ultimate. Now, the buff to his ultimate did a bunch of different things. The biggest deal to me is that you can scan every 6 seconds. This allows you and your entire squad, when you're pushing, to basically keep constant tags on where the enemy squad always is, and puts them at a huge disadvantage. Also, a neat little new feature is he can now use survey beacons, which really pushes Bloodhound into that pro level. We might be seeing more Bloodhounds in the next ALGS. So Bloodhound and Wraith are going to have to be in that S tier spot. Now, going into now A tier, I'm going to have to give A tier to the newest legend, Rampart, and that is because an amped cover used properly is very, very, very overpowered, and then when you throw on her ultimate on top of that, it just allows for complete devastation. Also in A tier is going to be Revenant. Of course, that ultimate is still a very useful tool to push with, and I also think Lifeline has earned a spot in the A tier list. Keeps going over to Gibraltar here. I think that she has a very unique set of abilities. Herself may not be the best legend ever. However, a Lifeline squad is always at a huge advantage because of just the way she is, and that's why I'm going to put her at A tier. Now moving on to B tier. B tier is going to be really big, and this is because I don't think that there are any bad legends this season. I think the way legends that are being buffed, I'm not even going to go over an F tier at all. I think that they're all really, really good, so B tier is going to be really big here. I'm going to have to give B tier to Wattson and Caustic together just because they both provide that really good, not really camping, but you're really able to fortify an area and bunker down and hold that area down. Also is going to have to be Gibraltar. Gibraltar's always been in that higher ranking spot since probably post Season 2. He's always been a really good legend. Also Crypto. Crypto received multiple buffs. His EMP can now destroy a whole bunch of other stuff, and he can also do that survey beacon scan, pushing him even further into the pro level of play. Also, the last person I'm going to put in B tier is going to be Pathfinder. Now, a lot of you guys might be like, what the heck, he's completely useless, he can barely grapple. However, I think that I think that nerf is being way overlooked. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think that reducing the cooldown makes him completely useless. The zipline gun is huge. The grappling hook itself, when knowing how to use it, knowing when to use it, it's just fine still. And I think that, his new passive, sure, it's not the best, but I definitely don't think he's a bad legend. I think he's still above average. Now let's move on to C tier. This is going to have to be Mirage and Bangalore. Mirage, after his buff to his ultimate, it has been much, much more useful. And the way his tactical works now, I actually get bamboozled by Mirages every single day. So he's really been put in the higher spot because of those buffs. And the way they reworked his passive too, where he can be cloaked all the time, is just great. He is now actually a not bad legend like he used. He used to be horrible. Now he's right there, average legend. Right next to Bangalore, who I think is also an S tier legend. Bangalore's just always been average legend. She's pretty much always been the benchmark for deciding who's good and who's bad. Are they better than Bangalore or are they worse than Bangalore? And I think that's the way you decide who's a good legend and who's a bad legend. So let's talk about who are the worst legends in the game. I'm going to have to give this to both Loba and Octane. Now, Octane has always been controversial. I think the double jump was good. However, it's not really enough. But I just got disconnected. But there is more buffs coming for Octane. I believe Respawn is working on it. Now, when talking about Loba came in Season 5, used a bunch. Her ultimate's great. It's a great tool to have. However, it's not really that type of ultimate that you see like in Rampart or in Bloodhound or allows the the repositioning tool like in Pathfinder and Wraith, or a pushing mechanic like Bloodhound Revenant. It's just not that type of ultimate. However, she's not a horrible legend. That's why we don't have an F class. I think her tactical could use a little bit of a buff, honestly. And the eye for quality, of course, is good. I don't know what they could do to her, but she's just not as good as everyone else currently, in my opinion. Now, this is just my opinion on all the legends. So basically, Bloodhound Wraith are the best this season. I think Octane and Loba are the worst. And everyone else is actually pretty close together. With Bangler being lower on the spectrum than she normally is. But that just pretty much sums it up. I think Respawn has been doing a great job at sort of closing that gap between legends like Wraith and Mirage. Now Mirage isn't even bad, and now Wraith and Octane. It's really not that... it's not too big of a gap, and it's not really anything we need to worry about as Apex Legends players. So, good job Respawn buffing and nerfing legends accordingly. I think it all has worked out great. This is just my opinion on the way this season's Legends tier list worked out. Make sure to share your ideas down in the comments. This is all I have for you guys, and I will see you in the next one.